The Queen of Granada, by M. Riff. Chapter 150, The Eggplant. Rita poured some milk into a plate for Espanto and emptied the rest of the bottle into a big glass bowl. She placed the plate on the floor and added the thin slices of eggplant, already cut, into the bowl. She was about to add half a teaspoon of salt into the bowl, as she looked at Espanto. The cat had already finished the milk and was busy licking the plate clean. She covered the bowl with a plate and pushed it into a corner of the table. Due to the energy crisis, people had become more mindful of their resources. They even began drinking the leftover tea cold, instead of reheating it. For that reason, cold tea had become quite popular, and Rita had also become fond of it. She poured herself a mug from the pitcher, took a sip, and leaned against the kitchen table. She glanced at Espanto, who was licking his paws clean. Maybe it wasn't wise to stay home alone when she was so sure the antiques dealer's henchman would be back for the book after nightfall. Maybe she could pack her school bag, take Espanto, and find a hostel in town where they could stay for a couple of nights until Rosen, Tobar and the kids returned home. But that would be the exact opposite of her plans to roast eggplant slices, and it was important. She took her recipe book from the kitchen table and looked through the recipe once more. She had already put the eggplant slices in milk to moderate their bitterness. Then she would turn them into a mixture of flour and a pinch of chili and fry them in oil. After removing the excess oil, she would turn them in melted sugar, adding a pinch of saffron. Then it would be ready to eat. It was a variation of a recipe she had learned from Rosen. In her absence, Rita had a unique chance to test the recipe, and if it failed, she would not lose face. A few days earlier, along with the family, Rita had visited a tapas bar, owned by one of Tobar's acquaintances, where they had tried roasted eggplant slices with honey. The owner, originally from Seville, had claimed the recipe had been a family secret for generations. When he served the other customers, Rosen mentioned that the recipe for roasted eggplant slices likely originated from the Ottoman Empire's Grand Kitchen in Istanbul. In Turkey, they prepared a similar dish called kaygana, where they melted sugar with water and a pinch of saffron instead of using honey. This not only added color but also a delightful fragrance to the eggplant slices. Tobar leaned in, checking that the owner couldn't overhear, and said, "I think it's called Mediterranean cuisine because folks from different countries around the Mediterranean Sea have sailed, tasted something great in another country, and brought the recipe back home." In a hushed tone, he continued, "But they all swear it's originally from their hometown and family, no matter where you go." Rosen smiled, saying, "Yeah, it happens in Turkey, Greece, Italy, everywhere." Back in Denmark, Rita used to hang out with hyperactive kids and learn all about cars and stuff. Therefore, she was not as good at sewing, flower arranging and cooking as other girls her age. Rosen, her mentor and teacher, had explained to her that the process of cooking and preparing herbal medicine was almost the same. In ordinary cooking, you had to put the ingredients in a pot to prepare nutritious food, and similarly, when you had to prepare herbal medicine, you had to treat ingredients in the same way, to cure diseases. Therefore, a skilled medicine woman should be good with pots and pans in order to excel in making herbal remedies.